Hello and thanks for joining the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I am Veronica Danik-Boy. Today on the program, Special Military Task Force Operation Safe Havens arrests and parades 3 suspects in connection with latest Plateau massacre. Soldiers convicted over 1995 phantom coup demand for justice. And later on the show, Odion apologizes to Nigerians for squandering chances against Argentina. I will be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Utitoju, Adekunle Yusuf, and Tony Waje. Gentlemen, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
Journalist Hangout starts now. Well, the hues and cries over the massacre of more than 100 souls by killer headsmen in Plateau State last weekend are unremitting. Given the widespread condemnation and protests that greeted the gruesome killings, the authorities are doing a semblance of what is needed to be done to serve justice and curb a recurrence. The Special Military Task Force Operation Safe Haven arrested 3 suspects in connection with the attacks. We hear that the suspects were arrested in Barkinladi local government area of the state. But how far can this go in addressing insecurity in the area and also bring about justice, Jide?
We can only hope that they won't stop at simply arresting people. We've challenged the government, we've challenged the armed forces to go after these killers. But we also know that they've been arresting people for some time. The Defense Headquarters announced in February that it arrested 162 killer herdsmen, and 147 out of the 162 were actually arrested inside Benue State. The rest of them in Nasarawa and Taraba State. But we've not seen anybody brought to trial. We've not seen anybody jailed.
Yes.
And in order to show people that violence does not pay, in order to show people that trampling on the laws of our country has repercussions, you must put people on trial. You must jail people. Remember the video of the Ugandan housemaid?
Yes.
That was in the habit of torturing and beating a little girl.
Yeah.
The video went viral, and it amounted to a big shame to the Ugandan authorities. And they put this girl on trial in record time. She was jailed. And they were happy to announce to the world that, look, we have jailed this girl.
There's a closure to it.
Yes, and they put a closure to that matter so that the world will know that Uganda is not a country where such conduct is permitted. But you can see people wasting other people's lives in Nigeria. Yet, we find it difficult to serve justice to such people. As long as we have this mindset of arresting people in Jos and asking that they should be transferred to Abuja where the matter will end, honestly, we will not solve this problem. I remember in 2001, people were arrested. People were involved in the mindless killings. Hundreds of people were killed at that time. They were arrested, and after a while, they were transferred to Abuja. And that was the end of the story. Till today, we cannot point at someone who was jailed over the mindless killings of that era. Those killings were even greater than this. So we have a history of parading people and not jailing them. Sometimes politicians too will apply pressure, and those who have been arrested, they will start freeing them one by one. We won't let police do their work. Yet we are the same people who will say, oh, police, they are irresponsible, they are useless, they don't work. Whereas when they make this kind of arrest, we start working the phones. We start calling, oh, don't leave that one alone. I know this one is my person. Leave that, oh, they lied against him. This is what we do. If we want to banish this needless bloodletting in our country, the way to go is to put suspects on trial. Those who desire to go to jail should go to jail. Because we can see these killings transcend tribe, religion, and ethnic boundaries. You can see there are Christians among them, there are Muslims, there are Fulani, there are Biroms among the people who have been arrested. So these people share a heritage of bloodletting. So let them go to jail. Maybe when they get to jail, they can reunite, they can become friends. But it's important to keep them out of circulation.
All right, I think we need to see that justice is not just done, but seen to be done, because these were lives that were taken, communities wiped out, and people are really crying out for justice. Now, with this semblance of seeming to be on the path of bringing about justice, have we really shown the political will to ensure that this justice is really done?
I don't think so. Because this is not the first time this kind of unnecessary, bloodletting is happening. It has happened again, and again. And, Nigerians, we will talk over it, we agonize, we will trade blames, we will point accusing fingers, we do all sorts of things. You see some, political jobbers who make, some gains out of it. They want to trivialize a very serious issue. We want to politicize everything. And at the end of the day, things will calm down. The following day or week, then you see another round of bloodletting. I'm particularly not impressed. And it's part of, on this program and various other opportunities, people have been telling this government, the security, team of this government needs total overhaul.
Well, the president has said he wants to rejig.
He doesn't need to tell us. He should do it. We've been saying this, not this year. The people who are there now, when you put people in office, when they do well, in my own kind of work, we always told that the reward for hard work is more work. In the military balance, I don't know, I've never been a military man. The reward for poor work should not be more work. Relieve them of that, of their post.
With that guarantee that these killings will stop and ensure security.
When you bring in fresh minds, you have fresh ideas, because the IGP is not new to that office. What ideas does he need to use to solve the problem? If you are brought in today, you will want to write your name in gold. You want to be remembered for something. If you bring in a new, look at the statement that emanates from one of the top, government officials. I don't know whether defense minister or whatever. That's not a government that will tackle insecurity. So when all these things go on, Mr. President should see it that it is not easy. Apart from the fact that every part of Nigeria is its own constituency, every Nigerian, he owes every Nigerian's duty to protect them. It is not even in the interest of Mr. President, who has declared for second time that these kind of things go on under his watch. It's not good, especially as we go into election year. How do you organize a free and fair election when there's no security? Everywhere, every day, people are killed in various parts of Nigeria. Most of these things don't get reported. So all these things, how do you handle them? How to handle them, Jide has given some of the ideas. You must, first of all, one, overhaul the security team. I'm tired of all the people who are in charge of Nigerian security. I'm totally fed up. This IGP, as far as I'm concerned, I see him as the worst in our history. More people have died under him than any other IGP. We can go on and on, because if you have a good police...
even a big scandal of promotion.
If you have a good police system, the job you are giving to the military is so necessary. That is one. Two, this is another reason that our president needs to have a rethink about his idea about, state police. He doesn't seem to like it. We need state police. There's no... Look at what happened in Jos. People went to the government house, stoning everywhere. They wanted to kill people. It's because they believe that this government at the state and federal level has failed them. And because the primary duty of government is to protect people and their property. If a government cannot do it, but how do you blame the state governor when he's not in charge of the security? So we need to make people, give them responsibility. Then when they fail, we should be able to hold them responsible. Now, I hold the federal government responsible, not any state government, because no state government is in charge of security in this country.
Well, Tony, some of those, the suspects that were arrested were found with AK-47 rifle and some local rifle as well. And then this brings to bear the influx of weapons into the country. And, you know, Nigeria is said to be another, you know, country where there is a free flow of light weapons. And one wonders, are we really doing enough to check the source? We know that headsmen are known to carry sticks and all of that, but then these ones are wielding weapons. And are we doing enough in terms of intelligence to know their source of getting these weapons and also know who is funding them if they are said not to have enough money to buy such weapons?
We're not ready yet. You know, this is not the first time we're hearing that security agencies rounding up headsmen, killer
bandits.
We call them at times gunmen, bandits. I mean, all manner, but we know what's going on. So this is not the first time we heard. The issue is how many of them have been prosecuted. On the issue of small arms and light weapons and all that, you know, in this country, election is approaching. More guns, weapons are going to be smuggled or brought into this country for election because majority of our politicians, to be a politician in Nigeria, it's a politics that involve thuggery. You must have people who carries arms for you, even from the ward, local, state and federal level, or majority of our politicians are involved in it. So when you have them, you arm them. You don't give them stakes. So those arms are still going to be circulating in the system. When because the same set of people, we do the same thing all the time. We expect different results. How is it going to be possible? How is it going to be possible? The killings is something, it's annoying. We are not ready yet to prosecute them. When this thing happened, there's a guy that the head of the North Central, Vice
Central chapter.
North Central chapter. He came out, he told us what happened. That was a reprisal attack for the killing of a number of
dissociated.
No, I heard that, and I said there's another arm. But the fact that this guy is not, it's not spirit. It's not spirit. It's a human being. Everybody knows. My question is, and the most annoying part is, why are they finding it hard, finding it very hard to get this guy? I mean, they've come up many times. We know what's going on.
Several statements.
Why is it difficult for you to, let's see them, let them even come and tell us what exactly the problems are. There was one today. I was on TV this morning, and I saw one from one television channel to the other. These are we know them. Well, until we get to the bottom of somebody is funding them, somebody is arming them, somebody is footing the bill, backing them up. They didn't just disappear into thin air. After when this whole thing happened, something happened, people were killed, and you're telling me that as we sit down here, we'll not be able to get some people, not free, not those people they paraded on TV. And I'm telling you that those people are innocent. The real culprits are the people who sponsor them, who buy these arms. These are not chicken arms. Well, how did they get them? How did you generate it? How did you get to this level in Nigeria? Nothing seems to be happening, and we're cool with it. And tomorrow it happens again. We make some. We play the drama. We go on condolence visits, and it goes. You come again, and this it happens again. It keeps happening over. Life is cheap in Nigeria. Life is cheap here. We are not serious as a nation. People are not valued. Go on the street. People are dying. Why did they get here? Government must sit up. I expected a situation. Yesterday, the commander-in-chief was saying. He's meeting the idea of sacking. I'm sitting down here, and what are we waiting for at this point? They don't need to sit down. By now, they should resign. Why is it in this country we finally have to resign? They should resign. They should not wait for the president to sack them. Right. They should take down and go. People cannot continue to die by seconds in Nigeria, and we're carrying on as if nothing is happening. It's so sad.
Really sad, really, really sad, Jide. And from what Tony has said, it's seeming that the Nigerian state is not really ready to rise up to the occasion to put an end to all of these whole happenings. If we are not tracing the source or those who are financing all of these killings, you know, giving them weapons, where do we go from here?
I don't think it's so difficult to know the source of these violent convulsions, because in this state, Plateau State, there was peace, relative peace for some time. But suddenly that peace was shattered. I remember watching a football match that was organized by the STF, the special, task force, you know, to mark the return of peace in Plateau State. But when there are terms of a peace agreement, you must consistently meet those terms. You and I cannot elect to make peace, and then when I'm not at home, you go and murder my children. Of course, my blood will boil, and the cycle of violence will resume. Yeah. So this is what has happened. Some irresponsible people are bent on shattering the peace of Plateau State, and they appear now to have succeeded. You don't block the highway, murdering innocent people who are traveling. You saw the picture of the van that we showed. You know, the van on fire. That was what happened last weekend. So if killings happen here, and yes, look at the vehicle. You know, some people are traveling. Once they stop them and they could not speak the language, they kill them. We can't continue like that. For God's sake, we have laws in our country, and our laws must be obeyed. So let's begin to punish people. I believe that is once we are able to do that, these killings will stop.
All right. Quickly, your final take, Adekunle.
My final take is that President Muhammadu Buhari should just believe that unless there is peace in Nigeria, nothing can work.
All right, Tony, quickly.
My final take, you should reject the security system.
All right.
Now, as a matter of urgency.
Okay, when we return, soldiers convicted over 1995 phantom coup demand for justice. Stay with us. Well, Nigeria's political history is replete with military intergnomes and the attendant coups, counter-coups, and even phantom coups. One of such is the 1995 phantom coup, believed to have been staged, managed to implicate some officers labeled enemies of the junta, headed by the late dictator, General Sani Abacha. In a sad reminder of those unfortunate years in our history, some victims of the fake coup are finding their voices again. Two of them spoke with TVC News about their ordeal and subsequent incarceration. 23 years after, they and their colleagues are still crying for justice. Let's hear their story and their predicament.
I was the director of Navy Legal Services. And by virtue of me being the director, there was a signal sent to all the various services, the armed forces, that we, the head, should send lawyers to represent the coup people, the so-called coup people. So I was supposed to send a lawyer, but then there were a board of inquiry in about 3 or 4 places. And the few lawyers I had, and I told them, go for the board of inquiry, not knowing that the letter would come requiring them to be at the venue of the trial. So I took it upon myself, being the head, so that the Navy may not be castigated. I went to the place where these people were detained, the so-called coup plotters. When I got there, I discovered that a lot of them, they were crying, asking me and the Navy to come and represent them. So I decided on my own to defend some of them because there were so many at the tribunal. Those people who were detained, I made up my mind. At least about 5 of them, I made up my mind to defend them. I contributed to the defense of Yaradua. I contributed to the defense of Baba Obasanjo. Olowo Okere, I defended him. Bello Fadile was the head of legal services too. He defended himself, and a copy of his defense were given to everybody. were given, particularly the member of the tribunal, were given to defense counsel of various accused persons. So that was how that paper was circulating all over the place. I was accused of passing an information to the world. Information to the world. The reason why they say this was this. Because Bello Fadile wanted all the books he used during the trial, the tribunal. He wanted to send everything home. And he told a particular fellow who was defending him. And the fellow came over to me and said, Oga, I cannot go to that place on the mainland. I live in Victoria Land. Please help me so that Bello Fadile can send his book through me, the book he used. And then, because of transparency and the fear that was pervading the environment that time, I told him to place it at a place where the court official, particularly the military intelligence, will be able to take it to my car. They took it to my car. To the best of my knowledge, I thought maybe by the time he was keeping it down and before he even left the detention camp, they will be able to go through everything because the security was very tight. They now link the fact that I carried this book, they now link it to me as if it is me, it was me who carried it out. And I didn't carry it out. What really happened, by the time I got to my office, I called Fadile's Bello's sister-in-law. When she came over to me, and I told my orderly, give her the book. Not the book, it's a carton containing a lot of books. Law books. And the lady carried it. In fact, she was not able to carry it, and my orderly carried it and gave it to her in her office. So that was exactly what happened. They now link the fact that I carried this book, they now link it to me as if it is me, it was me who carried it out. When they arrested me and took me before the tribunal was closed. There was nobody any longer. They said it was me who linked Beko. I've never seen Beko in my life. And they traced it to Beko, and they traced it to me. I've never met Beko in my life. And that was how I was arrested. During the trial, there was nothing like anybody planning any coup. There was nothing. They just wanted all of them killed. Particularly Bello Fadile, who was very mouthy, who felt because he got all the degree in law, and he was talking. They want to kill him. They will not kill him if he's able to mention names. And he started calling people's names. They linked me as that I was helping the Nadeko people.
Even Obasanjo that you went to jail with didn't think it was right to implement.
He didn't do anything. He never did anything. The reason was this. He said because Bello Fadile was the one who put into trouble, that was not ready to help anyone. That is exactly what he said. He put him into trouble, not agreeing that it's the same Fadile that put all these people into trouble.
I was Commander 3 Armored Div Electrical Mechanical Engineers in Jos as at 1993 when June 12 mandate was annulled. As at that time, our GOC is still alive for cross-checking. Brigadier General Ahmed Daku, he summoned all commanders, including me. I wanted our own opinion about the annulment, that they were going for a meeting with General Babangida in Abuja. So after everybody made their own submission, I now stood up. I said, sir, as far as Colonel Olusegun Olontoba was concerned, the government of Babangida at that time had not given any cogent reason why that election was annulled. That I was very much aware that even in military barracks, Abiola won completely in all the barracks. Then for anybody to tell us that the army will not want Abiola's presidency, I think it was wrong. I now say, sir, when you get to Abuja, tell Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief Ibrahim Babangida, to make a special broadcast to tell us why this election was annulled. So as at the time the momentum was moving, our own very senior and highly respected military officer Colonel Dangiwa Umar,
Yes.
who was formerly governor of Kaduna State. He was commander Nigerian Army Armored Corps.
In Bauchi.
Yes. So we were relating with him, and we were of the opinion that if Babangida had no reason, no cogent reason, then this it seemed to be annulled.
Yes.
And Abiola sworn in. So they now said, right from that time, because of my stance,
Yes.
they now felt I was a June 12th military officer. And in fact, they claim I was a member of Nadeco military wing. So when the time came to start arresting people in 1995, they didn't think twice before putting Colonel Olusegun Olontoba. Throughout the trial, no single military officer ever made a statement that Colonel Olusegun Olontoba sat with him to deliberate on any possible coup plot. So at the end of the day, I was sentenced to death based on nothing other than my failure to report Colonel Bello Fadile when he discussed June 12 with me was an offense. I said, what type of offense is that? All I told Fadile was that he should stop sampling people's opinion based on my own experience. I said he should stop sampling people's opinion on June 12 annulment. So my trial didn't take up to 3 minutes when late Brigadier General Zita Ziza said, Colonel Olusegun Olontoba, your failure to report Colonel Bello Fadile when he discussed June 12 annulment with you constituted conspiracy and treason. You are hereby sentenced to death by firing squad. Well, I gave it back to him. I say, you have passed your own judgment. If God himself knew that we committed no offense, I say no human being, nobody will be killed. And we shall meet with you outside at the appropriate time. And to God be the glory. Right now he's dead. That is General Aziza. May his soul rest in peace. Unfortunately for him, there was a army training week at Delta State,
Yes.
at Warri. I can't remember the exact year. The then Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Azubike Hejirika, invited me to that army week. So incidentally, at the dinner night, I was already on my seat when the man who sentenced me to death walked into and unfortunately for him, they brought him to the same table where I was sitting. So every other military officer rose up to pay compliment. I didn't give a damn whether he was present or not.
Yeah.
So some people say, so he now look at me and say, my friend, your face looks familiar. I say, it has to be very familiar with you. I said, this is the same Colonel Olusegun Olontoba you sentenced to death some few years back. So now we are meeting with you on the same dinner night. I'm sure he felt very, very bad, uncomfortable. And in fact, he didn't stay too long before he left. General Salami wanted all of us to go back and resume and get all our dues. Despite that, those guys refused, General Salami ordered that the 4 years and 4 days we spent in prison should be converted to active years of service, and our arrears of salaries, everything must be paid to us. That was implemented, courtesy of General Salami Abubakar, and we are grateful to him till today.
Yes.
Then, surprisingly, our brother and senior colleague, General Olusegun Obasanjo, who was detained with us by the same Abacha, and those my colleagues who were detained in the same cell with him were the one feeding him. He spent 8 years as president. He didn't give a damn about those of us that suffered with him. He set up Oputa panel. Oputa panel made far-reaching recommendations. One, that all charges and convictions must be nullified. 2, all victims must be adequately compensated. 3, all military victims must be promoted to their next higher ranks in line with their cosmates in the armed forces. Then 4, letter of apology to all victims to be signed by the President and Commander-in-Chief. Till today, it has not been implemented. President Yar'Adua was at the verge of implementing this recommendation, but unfortunately he died. Jonathan came He didn't do anything. All he did was he singled out the file of General Dia, General Adisa, late, and Allah Messier. Yeah. Implemented their own and left all of us till today. So, what we are saying is that President Buhari himself has been a victim of injustice. When he was overthrown, he was detained for 3 years. So we expect that now that he has decided to recognize June 12th and honor MK Obiora, yes, Kingibe and the rest, those of us who are also June 12 military officers and civilian victims should also be recognized and be compensated. So we are urging him to get the file that was endorsed at the Council of State via Council of State memo of 25th June 2009 under Yaradua. They should just dust it out and implement all those things for us. That's what we are looking for.
Well, that was the story of some soldiers that were convicted over the phantom 1995 coup demanding justice. They've said they've told their stories, and 23 years on, unresolved. Can this government intervene? Jide, quickly.
Yeah, since that file is there, if President Buhari will show the will, he can do it. He's been a victim of injustice. So we should be able to do the needful about these soldiers. They lied against them. They chased them out of the army. They lost their commission. They lost their commission. They tortured them like animals. And at the end of the day, you took away their ranks, their mates. If the recommendation was that their ranks should be restored, and that they should be allowed to go back to the army. Yes, it was difficult to allow them to go back to the army because of the shame that would bring on the people who lied against them, because a lot of them were left in the army. At least you should have implemented that part of the recommendation that says that the current rank of their own cosmates, yes, you know, should be given to them. We've seen that happen. And today, there's so much politics in the army, even up to today. Some people, if they feel that you are too brilliant, they will start plotting against you. And before you know it, you'll be kicked out of the army. So the army, by its foray into politics, actually dented its own image. And this is evidence of that. A man who was a lawyer, who was a military lawyer during the tribunal, who defended Obasanjo and other people, after the tribunal had closed shop, that's LMO Fabi, head of Navy's legal department. You now, because he wanted to help someone to send his law books home so that they don't get stolen, then you accused him of planning a coup. After you had completed the entire trial, and then you try a man for 3 minutes and sentence him to death. Where is that done? Except if the judging panel is made up of beasts. Beasts. How do you try a matter of life and death? Just in 3 minutes, you sentence someone to death.
Abacha's government was a cause to this country. A lot of most unthinkable things
happened
that we continue to talk about in this country happened under Abacha. Is the most murderous, the most bestial, the most wicked, the most ungodly human being to ever, to ever rule Nigeria. In Nassau.
And there are people who still praise him because they say, oh, this estate in Abuja,
whoever praises of Abacha is not a friend of Nigeria. So let President Muhammadu Buhari revisit.
Even Hitler too have some achievements.
Quickly, Tony, now one would have expected that former President Olusegun Obasanjo being a victim or a survivor of this coup.
That is Obasanjo for you.
Yeah.
We would have expected, and I'm sure they were happy when he was made the president. I'm sure they jubilated that, thank God, he was going to give our case a second look. But unfortunately, Obasanjo individual characteristics, left. My happiness is that majority of them are still alive, telling their story. Otherwise, it will remain the weight. In this country, a lot of injustices. And the issue is that if you don't stand up to rewrite that story, nobody will do that for you. I'm happy they are coming out now to tell the story the way it is. And the government, I pray, they take a second look at the story all over again. All those their demands, because it's very clear. The case was decided. So, I mean, a lot of people were implicated in that coup. It's just like yesterday. A lot of people were implicated in that coup. There's no big deal. Just call them together and look at it. So that people justice.
If you look right from 1999, from Abdul Salami, something was done about them. He gazetted it. During Obasanjo, the Oputa thing, they went as far as to the Federal Ministry of Justice, Bayo Ojo. Through that, they couldn't do it. Then they went to, I think, Maru Yaradua. He also did something about it. Then Jonathan inherited it. At the end of the day, they even went as far as the Council of State meeting. Now they said the thing is head up in the prerogative of mercy department or whatever. I don't know what. Now, what is so difficult about these things? I don't know.
They should keep pushing.
That's the question.
They should keep.
I don't because
Ando Aka at this time made it a big deal because his senior brother was also involved. We thought something would be done. Up to now, we are still talking.
One wonder, is it that difficult to implement?
It should be implemented. They should keep talking.
They should keep talking, and then we too as journalists,
people didn't
should draw attention to, because these were innocent people lied against, taken away from their homes, their careers were destroyed. Look at one of the best officers to ever go through the Nigerian army. No. Colonel Mekpaeda. He was IBB's ADC when he was Chief of Army Staff. They just chased him out of the army. Some of the most brilliant officers that we ever had. I interviewed General Bali inside the Lagos Ikoyi Golf Club. I interviewed him after waiting for him to finish playing golf for more than 6 hours. And in the interview, he told me that there was no evidence. Yet, they sentenced Vasa to death. That interview is still there.
What manner of human being go into the military?
He said it was just difficult for IBB and Domkabali, and Vasa to forgive themselves. Meanwhile, Vasa was his aide-de-camp. Was his best man at his wedding. But something happened between them for which they couldn't forgive each other. And the next thing, something happened. You said, okay, there was coup. He told me, and I recorded him. He said, look, there was really no evidence, yet some generals insisted that no, that Vasa must die. And that was what happened at the end of the day, despite the efforts that Soyinka and others made to save his life. It was Domkabali that announced to them that a while ago they were shot, that they were fired. Already. So that's Nigeria.
One can only hope that this government helps out at ensuring that justice is seen to be done. Well, we'll take a break now and return to continue with the program. Stay with us. All right, Nigerians are passionate followers of the round-level game of soccer. So for soccer-crazy citizens, supporting the senior national football team, the Super Eagles, offers them an avenue to savor the beauty of the game. Soccer's greatest showpiece, the World Cup, is the ultimate harbinger of delirium. But the joy of seeing the team go far in the ongoing Russia 2018 Mundial came crashing when, for the 5th time in the World Cup tournament, Argentina beat Nigeria with a goal margin. Odion Ighalo became the scapegoat after he failed to convert begging chances in the dying minutes of the tension-soaked encounter. The China-based striker has admitted that his misses were responsible for the painful ouster. In his words, quote, "Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. I apologize to Nigerians and I apologize to my teammates." End quote. Well, Chidebere Ezani joins us now to talk more on this. Chidebere, is that apology enough? Because I am pained, actually.
It's more than enough, really.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Football is a game of winners and losers. You take your chances or you don't. We've seen the best players miss chances.
Did he take his chance? He lost it.
Yeah, he didn't take his chances, but then we've seen the best of players. Cristiano Ronaldo missed a penalty against Iran, and if Iran had gotten a goal, another goal in that game, Portugal would have been out of the competition. We saw Lionel Messi miss a penalty against Iceland in the first game, which put them in the precarious situation that they found themselves against Nigeria. So I know Nigerians are pained. We were all disappointed 4 minutes to the end of the game, and we considered that second goal. But when you look at it in the sense of football as what it is, the entertainment, the passion, these things happen.
these things happen, Jide. Do you take the apology? Do you accept it?
No, I don't accept his apology. That's one. And I'm pained about the way his wife abused JJ Okocha, you know, because Okocha said that this guy didn't take his chances. And it's a fact that Ighalo is a Mickey Mouse striker. He actually played better in Pepsi adverts than at the World Cup.
In real life, yes.
Yes, because he couldn't even score an offside goal at the World Cup.
Some people say that's what you get from
There were
China
chances.
product.
Look, I always tell people, go back and look at that chance that fell to that Croatian player. The mistake that goalkeeper made, the mistake that he made, the striker punished him for making that mistake. And it was similar. All Ighalo needed to do was respond with a sweet volley, because that guy responded with a sweet volley, and it was 1-0 to Croatia. From there, Croatia went on and beat Argentina 3-0. Great strikers, they can have only one chance in the game and they will take it.
Yes, you are right.
Only one chance in a difficult game. But this guy had not just one chance.
Two.
The other one, it came through the flanks. We've seen people, even Kanu Nwankwo of the great Kanu Nwankwo, we've seen him score from that range against Chelsea in that great match between Chelsea and Arsenal that ended 3-2. From that same range, the keeper left his right side open. Instead of playing into that gaping hole, he decided to shoot to the left of the keeper, and the keeper saved it. So, look, if a defender like Marcus Royo could come from defense to score the goal that sent Nigeria out of the World Cup, why should someone who is paid to score goals, whose own role in that team is to score goals, why can't he score goals? In any case, someone who cannot tie up a shirt in Watford Football Club in England, I'm not surprised that he ended up in China.
That's quite an injustice.
It is true now.
It
is clear. You know, Nigerians, it doesn't take so long before they forget you. The treatment that Nigerians gave Yakubu Aigbeni is what you will get. It's as simple as that.
But you have to also consider, a lot of people are blaming Odion Ighalo. Yes, he's wearing the jersey of the Nigerian national team. But you also have to put the blame on the coach. Odion Ighalo has never been a prolific striker for the Super Eagles. It's out there. The record is there. And, you know, in a game...
When you are given a chance, at least you can take it.
But since he couldn't, I feel it's becoming too much of...
All right, let's get your...
In all of this, please, I blame the coach. The moment I saw Ighalo, I said, no. Ighalo is the kind of striker that is so wasteful. He got 10 chances, he will hardly use one. That's not a striker. Strikers, you have to. One opportunity, you have to use it.
Yes.
Immediately I saw Ighalo, I said, what? Doing what? I thought... Iheanacho would do it, but Iheanacho was busy showing his tongue, you know. I said, wow. So Guardiola was right to banish you from Man City, and you got to Leicester, you couldn't do anything. Your career is gone. And now for Nigeria, you refused, to make us happy. Now they brought Ighalo. What happened? A total mess up. I saw it, I said, what kind of coach will replace this with Ighalo?
So the cause...
In a match, look at the tactics, I blame everything. The moment I saw it, I said, no, it seems we don't have a good coach. We only need a draw to advance. The other team is desperate to have a win. Then what do? You put 3 people at the defense? No, at least you must fortify that. If you don't have any goal, or if you... Believe me, all through the match, all our players are copied. Look at the last chance when they wanted the penalty. You had that opportunity. It was easy for you to score that goal. You didn't. Or you have 2 options there. You didn't play. You refuse to play the ball and insist on penalty. They will know that you have a strong conviction that it's a penalty. You didn't do it. You tried to score. When you now lost the opportunity, you now turn back. That's afterthought. I said they won't give it. That these people, they won't avoid it. And eventually
but we were robbed.
That wasn't robbery. We didn't make the best of our chances. That's not robbery. I don't think so.
I feel as passionate as we are as football fans in Nigeria, football is a game of opportunities, like we established.
You have to take them.
And the fact that you don't take your opportunity doesn't necessarily make you so much of a bad player. I know players either make their careers or break them at the World Cup, but we have to forgive Odion Ighalo. Remember, Odion Ighalo got a goal against Cameroon.
Do Nigerians forgive?
Yeah, we do actually.
But that's not the only goal that we scored.
But he got the first one. He got the first one that set us on the path. He played instrumental roles, in getting Nigeria to the World Cup. We might question his conversion rate,
yes.
but the introduction of
do you agree that it's not good enough? Do you agree?
We don't have anything better, and that's the truth.
No, do you agree that it's not good enough?
When you don't have anything better on the bench, then what you have is good enough.
The Nigeria, the Super Eagles that you grew up to know, was this the quality of striking that we had?
Not at all.
The German national team will also tell you that
our players were virtually now throughout the game.
Huh?
No,
don't compare us to Germany, because Germany won the World Cup. Apart from winning the World Cup, they also won the Confederations Cup. So that's a team that has acquitted itself very well. They've done well. So anyway, if this year they've done badly, you can't have the graph can't keep going up for you like that. Under Joachim Löw, they've done well as a national team.
But as a national team, I think it all boils down to what are we doing in our local leagues? How are we getting players? Yeah. What kind of players do we have? We don't have good talents. That's where it starts.
Why then were we blaming the coach for all of this?
Look at the number of Argentines in that stadium. It just seemed like we were playing in Buenos Aires.
Yes.
Because everywhere, the Argentines had like 55,000 out of about 60,000 in that stadium. They were like 55,000 Argentines. How many Nigerians were in that stadium? So the support was not enough. Apart from Ifeanyi Ubah, who sponsored some Nigerians.
About 100
yes. We didn't really have enough people in that place. So I can say that we didn't get enough support. I mean, we didn't give enough support to our players, in that stadium. Argentina is more or less in recession. They are not doing well. The economy of Argentina is not doing well.
Their team is not good.
But the country has supported its people, so that what you have is.
But we have also tried to support.
We have not done that. It's a great footballing nation. So now in that stadium, it just looked like Argentina playing against Argentina.
Look at Nigerian fans.
You also consider
when you look at the state of our leagues, our league, you will know that we have a problem. Look at the quality of players that Nigerians in Nigeria put to the World Cup. How many of them play regular? I mean, in top teams. You can't count up to 4.
We don't have good talents.
Before, you have problems because
apart from those central defenders,
you have big names in big clubs everywhere. But this year, what happened? You are depending on strikers who play in China at age 29, when some people are still doing wonders at 30, 33, in top leagues.
All right, now there's been calls for the sack of General Roa. Is it justified?
For me, I feel it's too quick. It's too quick for us to call for his head. It was a rookie mistake. Nigerians will also have to consider the fact that the World Cup is the biggest competition that General Roa has gone to. So imagine a rookie coach with a rookie team. You don't expect them to be exceptional, and that's the whole thing.
No, that's not entirely true.
But it's the truth.
Look, let me tell you, Franz Beckenbauer never had any coaching certificate. Because of that, no German coach was ready. He had the football experience. So are you saying Roa didn't play the game?
One saying Roa learned alongside his players. That's the truth. We all knew that.
Do you remember?
It was all about two substitutions.
Do you remember Philippe Trouzet?
Yes, he suffered.
Do you remember Philippe Trouzet?
He suffered for his
first World Cup. He got to the quarterfinal.
We suffered for General Roa's inexperience.
But
it's not that.
But you also have to consider.
In this case, inexperience was a problem on the part of the coach. The moment the game was
inexperience or tactical incompetence.
It's part of inexperience. The moment the game was approaching 75 minutes and you are able to get draw, at that moment you have to address, do this. So that it becomes more
sometimes too, the quality of players you have
but I still
determine what you are able to do.
I feel it will be
the decision making on the part of the players has to be good enough.
Yes.
For me,
there's no coach who will teach you how to put the ball in the net.
has set us in a path that might bring greatness to Nigeria.
No, I don't agree.
We
that
don't
they should
need.
let
We
him
don't
go.
need to have. We don't need to have exceptional players to have a fantastic team. And he has set us on a path that we can actually achieve that. He has finally those Nigerians in diaspora who actually play regular football can now join the national team, and he has also made, you know, you can see a trajectory for Nigerian football. If we let him go now, where do we go from here?
Nobody.
You know, the
I'm
fear
not
for
saying
me,
so. No,
he shouldn't
the
go.
fear
I'm not
for me
saying
is
he should
the
go.
NFF election comes up in November, and we all know that it all boils down what happens in that election, if he stays or goes, or what happens in Nigerian football. So for me, I don't think discussion of Gannett Ra's position should be part of the topic. Maybe more involvement for the technical committee of the NFF to get involved.
You know that we don't have good players in some positions. There is no quality creative midfielder.
So what do we do?
There's no quality creative
Alex
midfielder in that
Iwobi
team.
is a creative
Then
midfielder.
attackers.
No. Is that unless Iwobi can play, he plays better just supporting the striker. He doesn't have the energy of a creative midfielder who will hold the midfield. That kind of player who will be holding the midfield.
Yes, he
Does
can.
he have no?
Yes, he can.
No. He doesn't have that.
We've
He doesn't have the
You
energy.
see him in national all the time. Is he not the Arsenal
Is
guy?
that the role that he plays in his club?
Because,
he doesn't do it
because
well.
there are better players in the club.
No, it's not. You
He
also
needs- he
need the
needs
strength.
time.
Because we need to wrap up all of this now.
Then
We
you
do
don't
not
have a good
quality
goalkeeper. If you look
players.
at that boy was not a good goalkeeper.
No,
But we
no,
need
no,
these
come on,
people.
That's not okay.
What do we
I've
do?
had you.
What
A
do we do?
totally inexperienced goalkeeper.
All right.
A totally inexperienced.
I don't think there was anything wrong with
coach.
We had the
Francis
youngest
Osayi.
team in the tournament.
So are we
entirely
asking for a
bunch of
total
inexperienced.
overhaul of
No. They will
That's
keep the nucleus of this team. You see that boy, I said it from the beginning. I said this boy is someone for the future, that goalkeeper. You know, because right now he doesn't have the experience. It's not good enough. With a few more years, he will be right there. He has the height, he has what you need in a goalkeeper, but he doesn't have enough experience. And he showed. Look at the goal that he considered, that Hurricane goal in the friendly match. No, a quality keeper won't consider kind of.
David De Gea considered worse. We can't judge goalkeepers like that.
Has he proven himself like David De Gea? When you want to compare people,
He's
don't
19
compare
for
people
crying
who
out
have-
loud.
Has this one proven himself?
But he didn't
If
make
someone
any
who has
errors
proven
leading to
himself,
goals.
if someone who has proven himself makes a mistake, people will forget. Not someone who has not proven
we
himself.
need to wrap
He's
up
not
the
made
show
any
now,
mistakes.
gentlemen. But then,
Good. He's like
He
you said,
can't
he's
keep-
one for the future.
he's not a
He
good
did not. He
goalkeeper.
kept Nigeria in that game
Chidebere,
against
thank you so
Argentina,
much
I
for
feel.
coming to share your thoughts with us. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the program. Well, that's all on Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. Watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on other platforms showing on the screen and on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Veronica Danik Boy. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.